And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. We got a great one lined up. XRP ledger wallets that have malicious code, not good. Ethereum about to be destroyed. Been saying that for 5 years. That's not a surprise. We got a great show lined up, I'm telling you what. I noticed Danny Boy was busy at work with the spammers that tried to spam the channel that unsuccessfully did that. First 5 people of the show: good will, everlasting faith. I had moved everything. Caleb Brown now. So Goodwill and Everlasting Faith says, I had moved everything everything over to Caleb and Brown. So I'm not going to worry. Hate this punchline, not your keys, not your crypto, but some bastard been tagging my XLM and Algorand in my ledger wallets every month. 4 years long, they sent bogus quantity into my wallets. Since my Caleb Brown, no more scam transactions. That's why the other social media influencers are copying this channel, because they see how successful it is. They're all talking about this wallet or that wallet and and just that shit don't work. And then they all eventually start copying Crypto Hulk because it's the truth channel. And all I do is show facts. I don't really like much on the internet. There's a couple things, and you'll see what I talk positively about. Caleb Brown's just one of those things. So let's go on with the show here. I want to start with the XRP wallet situation, because this thing is so fucking stupid. These people like David Schwartz and shit. Look, the people at Ripple, just so you understand, they're all under non-disclosure agreements. So what does that mean? They can't really tell you the truth, okay? They cannot show you what I'm showing you. I'm showing you Ripple Russia. Ripple. Let me ask you something. Before my show, have you ever heard of Ripple Russia? No. Did you know that in 2014, Ripple joined Z-Payment, which is Russia's crypto system? Did you know that Russia had a crypto system called Z-Payment since 2007? Has any other person on social media talked to you about this? No, I'm the only one. What about Ripple China in 2013? Remember when China released its CBDC in 2018? It's called the digital yuan, the CNY, okay? The CN is short for Chinese. The Y is yuan. China came out with that. I want you to see how massive my channel is. I know that it's small, but it's like that movie 300, and I only need 300. And that's generally about what's on my shows, 300 people watching the show. I'm going to tell you why. Because my show has the evidence no other channel has. In 2013, Justin Sun, who the creator of Tron as we know it today, back then he was just straight out of college, 22 years old or something, Chinese. He went to China and hooked up China with the digital yuan. That's 2013. It took 5 years later before China acknowledged they had a CBDC. They were the first country in the world to come out with a CBDC. And it failed miserably. No one wants that shit. Around the world, nobody wants to use the Chinese money. Like, nobody wants that. Otherwise, we just moved to China. We also know that right around 2013, I showed you the evidence the other day in my show. It was about 3 days ago, how Russia, China, and the United States, working with Mozilla, America Online, Netscape, there was something going on where the United States was hooking up Russia and China with all this interoperability stuff with the internet. I've already shown the evidence, Ripple China 2013-14. So they were hooking up with cryptocurrencies as well. Something was going around 2012, 13, 14. Right about in there, the United States government, they took over the Ryan Fugger for the past since 2003. Ryan Fugger came in or something. His family was deep in the banking systems of Europe, and something around 2012, 13, everything launched with Ripple. Here we are now, 13 years later. But yeah, they're still working on it. Been working. Okay, so let's go to let's look here. Are Ripple wallets safe? Okay, so I gave you that little history lesson on purpose so that we can better understand the news that happens today. If you don't know how all this stuff started 12 years ago, you won't really understand and appreciate the news that you have. And when you don't understand, that's when you ask me questions like, Crypto Hulk, when is this thing going to take off? Da, 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 da. When you step back for a minute and shut your fucking mouth, you actually watch my show the whole time instead of 5 minutes, then you stop asking me those dumb fucking questions, okay? You start to understand how all this came together, and it's because it's a joint effort between Russia, the United States, and China. Then you say, oh, damn, Crypto Hulk wouldn't know this answer because it's above him. I actually watched the show for more than 5 minutes today. I'm starting to learn a whole fucking bunch. I don't know why I asked that stupid question. It makes me look like a little bitch. My name's Crypto Hulk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor. Don't buy anything I tell you to buy. Everything on the show is bullshit. My goal is to rip you off and scam you, okay? That's my goal. Besides all the drugs I use. I go on, I probably snort 5 lines of coke, inject 5 pounds of heroin before every show. Okay, so understanding that, you're going to see how fucking stupid this is. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not David Schwartz's cheerleader. I'm not a Ripple cheerleader. I'm going to XRP Las Vegas, but not to hang out with those fucks that work at Ripple and everybody else, all these other people that are under non-disclosure agreements. I don't need to go to a XRP Las Vegas. I already know how Ripple started and all this shit. It's all government cover-up stuff with China and Russia. It's all a big five. We just went over the Roth, and I won't say child, family involvement in the banking industry with the Boy Charlie Boy group, okay, that got my last channel shut down. That global rich family has got the governments of Russia, China. Hey, if you control those 3 countries, you got the whole world, don't you? I mean, think about it. So the R family has China, Russia, and the United States all working on controlling their population, utilizing something we call cryptocurrency. It's brilliant. You don't need to go after all the other countries because they're going to copycat and adopt. You control the top 5, like I've been telling you, top 5 families. Probably go after the top 5 countries of the world. When you get those top 5 done, everybody acts like a fucking sheep, and they're all going to copycat Russia, China, United States. You got Japan in there. They're all going to copycat, and that's what we're seeing right here. So this article we're starting off with, are XRP wallets safe? Top Ripple executive who's under a non-disclosure agreement and cannot tell you the truth He issues a critical warning. Ripple CTO David Schwartz has sounded the alarm over compromised XRP Ledger.js package. David Schwartz, Chief Technology Officer at Ripple, has taken to social media to warn about malicious code in the most recent versions of the library for XRPL developers that could steal private keys. I want to ask something like, look, I don't follow any of the dumb shit like the XLS and let's talk about what's coming up with Ripple. Dude, I don't give a fuck about that shit, okay? Because here's why. People that get involved in all that tech shit, oh, I want the insider scoop. What's Ripple called? They're coming out with side chains. They're doing Ripple staking. Look, I'm not doing a fucking thing with my crypto until like 2 years after shit launches because I'm going to watch people get wrecked. They're going to get into some kind of Ripple project and the shit's going to have a malicious code and they're going to steal and wipe all your wallets clean and shit, okay? I'm not doing a fucking thing. You can go, hey, go watch the other channels. See, here's what happens. You get all these little techie people and they start these channels and they start telling you how to invest here, get into this project. Dude, don't do any fucking thing. Just listen to me, all right? All these dumbasses are getting booty raped because they got their shit in some kind of Ripple wallet. It's not tested. It's not tried. Oh, yeah. These developers come out on social media, try to sell like, oh, yeah, here's the latest and newest thing. Hey, everybody, get all riled up, man. Let's go for it. I don't watch dumb shit people on YouTube or any. I don't watch these developers. I don't want to hear the tech people because their shit comes up with malicious code. Now, I don't know if David Schwartz, if this is like some kind of division of Ripple or Ripple Labs or the XRP Ledger Foundation. I don't know who's mixed up in all this, but this whole thing is fucking stupid, okay? Then we have some company called Aikido. Hoo-yah! Aikido Security. Wow, what kind of a fucking name is that? Earlier today, Aikido Security. Wow. That Aikido Security revealed that they were having a gender reveal party. What the fuck? These are probably the same people. Okay, let me continue before I get sidetracked with these stupid shitheads. Aikido Security revealed that the XRP Ledger package, who made this fucking package? On the NPM, the Nancy Paul Mary, the default package manager for JavaScript has been compromised. I'm sure glad I never got into any of this dumb shit because these stupid fucks are going to get everybody ripped off. Recently, see what I said? Just don't do anything. Go put your shit. Hey, put half your shit in Caleb and Brown if you want. I'm not telling you put it all. I don't have all my shit in there. I got about half. But this is what I'm talking about. Recently, several new versions of the XRPL.js, whatever the fuck that is. See, I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get involved in nothing. I'm not getting airdrops. I don't want this. Look, 55 years old. One of the things I've learned, don't get free shit, okay? It ends up costing you the most. Pay for shit, okay? Don't do the free shit. Recently, several new versions of plus, don't be the first to experiment. Oh, this is so exciting. The XLS 20 or the XLS 40 or the XLS, go fuck yourself. Whatever it is, I don't want a part of it. Because of reasons like this. You could be a part of something and lose all your XRP and you'll be a broke dick, okay? And you come on my channel, crypto hog, I got ripped off. Hold on, I got to suck my boyfriend's dick to make money. I'm like, wow. Don't do shit. Sit on your fucking hands. That's what I've been telling you for 5 fucking years. But no, some of you dumbasses want to get involved in this XRPL.js dumb shit for the software development kit. Don't develop anything. Don't be a part of anything. Don't help. Just lock your shit up and hide it and hope to God that everything works out good. The more you start getting involved in this and getting involved in that, you're going to get your cheeks clapped, all right? Recently, several new versions of this software development kit was released with malicious code. Wow. The fact that this code is not part of the official GitHub repository immediately raised suspicion. Okay, first off, I kind of know what GitHub is, but I don't want to know. See, I don't fucking care. I don't have to know. What I do know is when you get mixed up in dumb shit like this, where you're trying to be special or trying to be like the newest person to have this, you end up getting fucked up, okay? That's what I do know, and that's all that I need to know. I've gotten this far without really knowing what GitHub is. If I got this far and I don't really know what GitHub is, great. It doesn't fucking matter. Guess what? I don't need to know what it is. I don't need to know what any of this fucking shit is, okay? Alrighty then. I don't even know what wallet this is. And guess what? I don't want to know. See how that works? It's brilliant. There's no chance that I'm ever going to lose any of my shit because I don't get involved in shit. See how this works? With the help of the malicious code, private keys could be secretly sent to an unknown domain, which obviously is a red flag. So here's how it works. You're watching your little crypto video, and your little 25-year-old something, 30-year-old, whoever it is, making the video is very convincing, and they sound all good and everything, and they're your buddy because you and them text back now and then, and you just feel so special. So you sign up for some dumb fucking shit like this because you want to be an early developer. You want to build a community, right? You want to be part of the XRP family because you don't have a family because you're so fucked up and your family's so fucked up. So you're desperate like a hooker in church to get out of a situation. So you sign up with this dumb shit, and then someone steals all your keys right before we take off, and you're left like a homeless bitch, okay? This is what happens when you get mixed up with these little tech channels and they try to sound all handy-dandy and shit. You get fucked up, okay? None of this shit happens on my program. Oh, yeah. If you're watching the show and you're getting any kind of information, let's say you're someone that does not donate, okay? Then just do this, okay? I'm not clowning nobody. Hey, everybody's got their own financial situation. I'm not trying to take money if you got kids out of those kids. So here's what I want you to do. Every top chat, make a comment. Even if it's the word comment. After the show, put a comment in. Even if it's the word comment. Next comment. Third comment. Something like that. I don't want you to attempt to manipulate any algorithms. I just want you to show that you're involved in the program. That will help my channel reach other people. Next, this video, mark it as saved to favorites. Share this video, even if it's to your own email. Okay, share it as much as you can to anybody or your own email, this video. And lastly, this really helps, but you have to do this. Save 8 videos and play them while you're at work every day. I'm not telling you this to do this to manipulate any algorithm. I want you to listen to the show. And what I want you to do is keep the volume. If it's too loud, then keep it low to where you can work and not interfere. My goal is for you to actually watch and listen to the show, not just play it, turn the sound off, and let it go. That's what I don't want you to do, because that's going to be manipulative practice. So while you're at work every day for 8 hours a day, what I need you to do is to just let the videos go for 8 hours. Got it? Okay. Along with that, let's start the show back again. Sorry about that. Robert Driscoll, who's your buddy? Thanks for looking out for us. Good old Robert, Robbie, Bobby. All right. So we go from that article. This XRP wallet thing. Okay. I'm going to say something, and a lot of people aren't going to like it, and I don't really fucking care. So I'm just giving you a warning in case you get triggered. I'm not going to get triggered because I don't fucking care what you have to say. That's how I roll. Like, I'm not watching your show. I'm not trying to learn from you because there's probably nothing I'm going to really learn. Some of you guys, yes, but I'm not into the coding thing, so I don't give a fuck about that shit. If you're a researcher and deep diver shit, then I like listening to history. I like learning. That's how I am. I like to learn shit and see how things are put together. I have a question. Is David Schwartz mixed up in this? Is David Schwartz the Ripple Chief Technology Officer? So shouldn't David Schwartz know what the fuck's going on with Ripple wallets and shit? I mean, what do I know? I'm just some guy who's sitting there bobbing my head back and forth, okay? Maybe this has nothing to do with David Schwartz. I don't know. I'm just reporting an article that I saw, and then David Schwartz's name gets popped up in an article. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm not a coder, just in case you didn't know. But I'm looking at a page here from 2015. I've shown you it before. It's the actual page. We can click on it and cruise through the internet. But it has a Ripple logo, and guess what it says? Ripple Singapore. And below that, you know what it says? Gold and silver in your wallet. Well, it's not going to be obviously a man's wallet where you put gold and silver in there. So Captain Obvious to the rescue, which is me. In case you didn't know, I'm Captain Obvious. Like, isn't that obvious? Captain Obvious says gold and silver in your wallet. And you look here on the page, and look, there's a button that says wallet. And if you hover your cursor, over this little wallet, it says open your independent Ripple wallet. Now, isn't that something? Now, here's a wallet right here. Here's a wallet right here, and it's on the same page as Ripple Singapore. Here's a wallet right here from 2015, only 10 years ago. Like, I'm trying to show a point here. I'm on a Ripple page. It's called Ripple Singapore. There's a Ripple logo. It shows how Ripple had gold, silver, and vaults, how Ripple had a system where you could have a debit card. You could trade fiat, gold, and silver for crypto and shit. You have a wallet you can download. This is 10 years ago. I have a question. Why the fuck is David Schwartz not just hooking up the Ripple wallet that I'm showing you that institutions use? And why aren't they just using that? Is this too complicated? Am I missing something here? I know I'm not a coder, but Ripple already has developed a wallet from 10 years ago that I could, right fucking now, if this thing was working, I could, what does it say? Open your independent Ripple wallet. This isn't some kind of XRPL.js and all that fucking Razzmatazz 123 Alakazam or whatever. This is a wallet that's been around for like 10 years. This is the Ripple wallet you can download. Now I got the code already for the real Ripple wallet. But I'm just wondering why Ripple and their developers are fucking around with some kind of wallet that's bogus when they could just use the original Ripple wallet. What am I missing here? Now I'm going to ask the question. This isn't a rhetorical question. This is an actual question. Is there somebody in here who's a coder, a developer, who can answer my question? Is there something wrong with that 2015 wallet system that Ripple started with, where you had gold, silver, bullion, securities, commodities, and all these things? Is there something wrong with that old wallet? Does anybody know? That's an actual question. Somebody can't wait for the midget throwing contest. Well, at least I know you're listening to the show. But you see what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck is David Schwartz trying to fuck around with this XLS Just use the Ripple fucking wallet that we all know about on Crypto Hulk Show. That one doesn't have a problem. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck David Schwartz is fucking around with some kind of wallet that they know that shit don't work. Just use the one that I showed you here with Ripple Singapore. That wallet's fully functional. Why are we fucking around with the XLS.js dumb shit? This is what I don't understand. No, that 2015 Ripple wallet is intact and safe. So this is what happens when you get mixed up in the dumb shit with the new experimental XLS. When you start getting mixed up with the dumb shit, this is what happens. So for some reason, I don't know why David Schwartz is getting mixed up in this wallet shit when there's no need for all that. They've already got this figured out. The whole XRP ledger liquidity hub shit, it's all done. They're pretending like, yeah, we're trying to figure this out. How's this wallet not working? Like, are you guys fucking serious? How long you keep fucking around with this crypto shit before we take off? Now I'm asking the question everybody wants to know, because I want to know, like, why the fuck are they dragging this shit out so long? I don't know. But I'm going to go on to Ethereum. We're starting the show off with, quote, things that are fucked up, okay? And that's Ripple right there. This whole fiasco with the Ripple wallets and all the dumb shit. Like, I'm looking at Ripple Singapore here. It started when? 2013. You got 4 guys that made it. I call them the 4 Satoshis. I'll bet you these 4 people right here, they're the ones that made Bitcoin. There just happens to be 4 of them, right? Erwin Vanderwall, Herco Vanderwall, James Cox, and Marco Fasse. I'd like to talk to at least one of them and find out what the fuck is your guys' connection to Bitcoin. All right. Let's go with this article here, Vitalik Booty Rim, or metallic. He's got a metallic booty rim. Oh, wait, hold on. MAB 1914 says big companies don't use JavaScript in core business applications. It's primarily for data extraction. Okay. So, Mr. OG, what do you think about that one? I think, Mr. OG, I think that Ripple Singapore with the 4 guys that made it, that's what Crypto Hulk thinks. Those are the 4 Satoshis. Because look, they made Ripple Singapore. So what is it? It's a liquidity hub. I've showed you already in there. They created the wallet for gold and silver, and then you could use fiat in there, and then you could probably use crypto, and then it said their exchange in Singapore had securities, commodities, where they made an exchange, but they said the concept is you could use security. So they know they already did it and tried it. All the shit's done, and there's 4 guys that did it, and Homeland says there's 4 guys that made Bitcoin. What are the odds of that? I know, just a coincidence, right? Just a coincidence. They just happened to make Ripple Singapore. They launched it 2013. Bitcoin was about 2009. 4 years before then. I think they made Bitcoin and said, okay, they retooled some shit, and then boom, they made a Ripple platform with Ripple Singapore and all that shit. That's my belief. That's my conspiracy. Alrighty then. Let's go to Vitalik. We do a copy and a paste. Now we're going to shift gears to things that are fucked up, and we're going to talk about Ethereum. Okay. I looked into crypto. I knew nothing about crypto at all in 2000. March, April, and May, COVID hit. I was stuck at home. The federal government at the federal park wouldn't even let me on outside a park property. It was outside, and I still couldn't go on park property because of COVID. I wanted to walk in a park on federal property, and I couldn't because of COVID. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Crypto, you know what I really think COVID was? I think they wanted to dump the economy. That's what I really think it was. They were trying their best. They shut down the fucking country for no reason for a whole year, and we're still here. I think they really thought, I honestly feel like in 2020, crypto, maybe that was the start. Like 5 years ago, it was the start of crypto. I felt that maybe in 2020, because I already knew after I studied the crypto for 3 months, I knew all this was a government scam. Bitcoin and Ethereum were by the government. I knew all this shit. And because it was just so obvious. In 2020, Bitcoin came out in 2009. I'm like to myself, because I used to work for the Department of Justice, State Supreme Court. I used to work law enforcement. So I'm like, there's no way the government at the federal or the state level doesn't have crypto laws. There's no fucking way. Okay. You're not going to have something from 2009 to 20. What is that? 11 years. You're not going to have something for 11 years. And where are we at now? 14 years or 15 years since Bitcoin came out, or 16? No crypto laws, really? But you're going to sell it on the, you're going to sell crypto on NASDAQ or whatever it is, spotty tail, whatever the fuck. No one knows who made Bitcoin. Like, seriously? That's what I knew. Scam. Government cover-up. Scam. That's, I mean, how are you not going to have laws? I can't even push a little cart down the street and sell food now because they're going to come out. Where's your permit, your health permit? But you can sell Bitcoin? Seriously? Like, that's so fucking stupid. So that's how I knew right away there's something going on with this crypto, and it involves the government. All right. Here's an article here. We'll burn through this one. The Ethereum Foundation shifts gears and leadership. Ethereum is making a strategic pivot as subtle as it is radical in the crypto universe. Basically, Ethereum is fucking broke, and they don't know what to do to fix it, all right? As the network prepares, the Ethereum network is preparing to face colossal technical challenges. Its foundation is reshuffling the power dynamics. The goal, to free Vitalik Buterin from operational burdens to propel him toward unexplored horizons. Oh, God, this is so fucking stupid. A move that could redefine the very DNA of blockchain. Wow. These people believe in Santa Claus. They really do. Next, if you look at the section that says in brief, it says the foundation, the Ethereum Foundation, is now focusing its efforts on scaling layer 2 solutions. You know why? Because layer 1 Ethereum doesn't work. I knew that 5 years ago. Didn't these people know this? I mean, I looked over crypto and I didn't know anything about crypto. And I looked at Ethereum and and the problems and the good or the bad. And I'm like, this is a pile of shit. Like, remember now, I'm just some guy who doesn't know anything about crypto. All I do is cuss all the time, right? So I'm trying to learn how to make money. Imagine this. Crypto Hulk is stuck in this apartment. I'm going to the grocery store 4 times a week because I got to get out of the house and walk around. I can't do it at a park because they'll kick me out and arrest me. And I'm like, what? The other federal park ranger dude was ready to get all shitty with me and stuff. And I'm like, what? So, yeah, like, it's 2020. Like, I want to tell you, like, I knew right away Ethereum was a pile of shit with Bitcoin. And I'm not a computer person. I don't know anything about computers. I don't even know how to barely work this phone. So I'm going on to park property. The ranger starting to pull up. He's like, you can't go in there. I'm like, I can't go where? Into the park. I'm like, well, I don't see no sign. And he's like, and I said, it's daylight. It's not between the hours of sunset and whatever. And he started getting like all kind of trying to show that, hey, I'm a park police or something like that. And he got out of his truck and I'm like, wow, like so I can't walk around on the park outside. Is that what you're telling me? And he started giving me some answer about whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, seriously? Like, do you know how ridiculous that sounds? He's like, well, it's not going to sound ridiculous when you're handcuffed in the back of the vehicle. And I'm like, wow, park police are going to arrest me for walking during the daytime on park property. Like, this is so fucking stupid, you know? So that's the beginning of my journey into crypto, trying to make some money because I'm like, well, I need money. The Biden, Trump was gone. The Biden economic shit was fucking the country up and inflation was going nuts. So not quite in May of 2020, but during the following months for the rest of the year started getting worse, you know? And so here I am. Vitalik is freezing the channel. So there you go. The foundation is focusing on layer 2 solutions. They're not focusing on Ethereum layer 1. They have an ambitious project. We're still under the section that says in brief. It's right near the top. I'm not going too deep into this article because it's really fucking stupid. It says in brief, an ambitious project even considers replacing the Ethereum virtual machine. Replacing the Ethereum virtual machine. They're getting ready for let's repeat the words, colossal technical challenge. You know what colossal means? It's like this massive thing. Ethereum is this massive pile of shit, okay? I've only been saying this. I don't care if it was like what, $3,000 something for a pile of shit. That's what it is. It's like if you get horse shit and you put chocolate syrup all over the top and add some whipped cream and shit, nuts. Well, Vitalik doesn't have any nuts, so he would just have the chocolate syrup and he definitely's got the cream because he probably watches midget porn and blows fat loads. So people are like, okay, Crypto Hulk, whoa, stop. Enough of the ad hominem attacks on Vitalik Buterin. Okay. This is supposed to be a family show. Whew-wee. So Ethereum's got these colossal problems. I don't call them challenges. I call them problems. And then they're going to focus on layer 2s because they're not going to focus on layer 1 Ethereum because it doesn't work. And then lastly, it says in the section here, RISCV, go down a little bit. It says the risk, ? Network fragmentation if the players do not follow in sync. So here's another problem. Not that we have another problem to add insult to injury. Not only does Ethereum have colossal problems, they're going to not even work on layer 1. They're going to just start working on layer 2. They're getting rid of the Ethereum virtual machines. So now we're at 3. And now on top of this, everybody in the Ethereum ecosystem has to move at the same time or it gets all fragmented and fucked up. Oh my God, this is starting to look like a shit sandwich, okay? I'm not hungry. Oh my God, Hugo Linares. Thank you very much for the tax-free donation there, buddy. Now, I'm going to show you evidence right here. No other channel's shown this, just me. For like 3 years, I'm the only channel that has shown this. So let's go take a little looky-loo. This is directly from the Ethereum website. Go to the 22-second mark. 22-second mark, please. What are we looking at here? Well, it's this is how the illegal security sales of Ethereum started. See, look, I was saying this 3 years ago. Where is the Inspector General? Where was the SEC when Ethereum had an illegal security sales? Nobody was doing anything. Probably because the SEC is in on it, okay? We have what's called an Ethereum roadmap. So they're showing how Ethereum, where they're at right now, which is actually, this is about 10 years ago. What you're looking at here was taken off the internet. I have it, okay? This is the original Ethereum website from 2015 showing an illegal security sales plan, okay? This is an illegal securities roadmap. They're going to show you how they're going to illegally sell this, and the SEC did nothing. But yet when Ripple meets with the government and regulators, probably every quarter, if not biannually, only for like the past 15 years, and Ripple turns in like yearly financial documents, I'm not sure for what, they get in trouble twice. In 2015 and then again in 2020, Ripple gets sued by the government. I think, okay, and that's all fine with Ripple, but Ethereum is showing you an illegal securities plan and the SEC and the government does nothing. That's how I knew, you know what, Crypto Hulk, back in 2020, when I first started with crypto, this whole shit's a scam with the government. I already knew because of shit like this. You have an Ethereum roadmap. Look right here, intended use of revenue. This is okay, if you see an Ethereum roadmap, okay, well, that's what they plan on doing with Ethereum. Okay, that's nothing wrong. Now, intended use of revenue. Now it's starting to get like, wait a minute now. It sounds like they're, but then look at this one. Terms and conditions of the Ethereum sale. Now you know. Now you know. Unless you're a fucking chimpanzee who hasn't evolved yet into a human because you believe in Charles Darwin and evolution, that your relatives came from monkeys. Truly sad. There's something right. There's something here that says terms of the Ethereum sale, terms and conditions of the Ethereum sale. Now we also have a section here, Ethereum product purchase agreement. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not even touched by our government. Ethereum was telling us, here's the terms and conditions of the sale. You can't sell Ethereum. It's illegal. Because they're having intended use of revenue. Think, if you sell a product with the intention of making a profit to put the money into the company to make the company better, that's a security. It's also, that's one. Number two is you got terms and conditions of a sale. Number three, you have a product purchase agreement. You know, this is one of these where if you can't see this is an illegal securities, I can't help you. You're so far past fucked up. Like, I can only probably go to fucked up, and if you watch my show enough, you can get unfucked. If you believe Ethereum's just whatever, you're past fucked up into that Uranus, the planet Uranus, not Uranus. But you're on planet Uranus. I can't help you. You're too far gone. So this clearly here, nobody on the internet has ever shown this except me. And now you get to see it. Next, let's do a copy and a paste. Okay, next truth bomb. Go to the 42-second mark. Well, actually, go to the 33-second mark. 33-second mark. Here's what we got. Ethereum Foundation faces an inquiry from a government. Fortune Internet reporting says SEC is investigating Ethereum. So this is 2024, 9 years later. I know, 9 years. Ethereum does all this illegal shit. The government doesn't wait 7 years for statute of limitations. They wait like 9 years, and then they go to investigate. And guess what's going to happen? Nobody gets in trouble because you're past the statute of limitations. So the SEC, oh yeah, we investigated it. 9 years later, really? Like, that's not illegal at all, is it? Here's the article dated 2024. You're going to love what it says here. Confidential inquiry comes during a time of change for Ethereum's technology at a possible inflection point. Okay, let me tell you something. In 2015, Ethereum was fucked up already. That's 10 years ago. They had the Ethereum sale to raise money so they could fix Ethereum because it was fucked up. That's what the Ethereum free pass was for, where they could just get in, sell Ethereum, raise hundreds of millions of dollars, get Ethereum to get fixed so it can beat Ripple. And we see how that all turned out. It didn't turn out. So in 2014, the SEC investigates, but they say, well, we're going to kind of hold off a little because it looks like Ethereum might be turning into something else. Yeah, it goes from a hot pile of shit to a hotter pile of shit. Because it says right here, Ethereum's at a, quote, possible inflection point. Wow. How truly sad. They just don't want to admit that they allowed an illegal security sales. Lastly, here's my evidence. If I was in a court of law, this would be awesome. So check out this last bit of evidence. Now, I made a video, I think it was about close to 3 years ago. Maybe 2 years ago, but 2 to 3. Here's the top page. Terms and conditions. I want you to hear this. Terms and conditions of the Ethereum Genesis sale at www.ethereum.org. This is the web page from 2015 or 16, whatever one it was. Here we go. Warning. Now they're warning you. Do not purchase Ethereum if you are not an expert in dealing with cryptographic tokens and blockchains. Warning. Cryptographic tokens of value may experience. Warning. The purchase of Ethereum has a number of risks. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is a disclaimer. It's called a disclaimer. When you have a crypto sale just as this, and you're giving the warnings, disclaimers, you're selling a product. You're selling a product. Ethereum is selling a product with the hopes of raising a profit to put back into Ethereum to help the company. That's a classic security. Why was this never investigated? I'm just wondering. I'm not I don't work for any investigatory agency, but I'm just some average guy who cusses a lot. Not a big deal, I guess. I'm just some guy, I was going to say who sits on the floor, but I sit on a chair now because I'm getting older. I'm just a guy who sits on a chair in a little room, which is true. And I'm wondering why our government allowed all this terms and conditions sale and intended use of profits and disclaimers that we clearly can see, and nobody does anything. Sounds to me like the government's involved in this one. And Ethereum, we all know, is mixed up with the Chinese. Vitalik Buterin was a chief scientist for Wang Zhang. Wan Jiang, and I went over that article already, and very interesting. We know there's a Wang Zhang meeting. Jed McCaleb was there. The guy from Circle, Jeremy Allaire, he was there. So they're all mixed in this. This is all a government project, everybody. All this crypto shit, you won't hear this from other channels because they don't deep dive because it takes time. So that's what my job is, to show you how all this shit comes together. We'll read a news article from today. We'll take it back 10 years, and I'll show you how it all happened to get set up. And now it makes all sense. So other people are like, why is Ethereum getting this free pass? Because it's working with the government. That's why. I'm showing you all the evidence that I believe why. Okay. All right, we got 7 minutes. Next article, where I got to pick a good one. Oh, there's that one. I got the Caroline Pham article. That's a good one, actually. Let's start off with that one. Why not? Caroline Pham. So Mr. OG says, Autumn Jewel, 750 people watching, 310 likes. I look at my number, I got 555 watching and 310 likes. So if you're showing 751, this whole YT system is manipulated. I got 570 people watching. Everybody, for the next couple seconds, just type in how many people are watching. I'm showing 570. Now it's 565. What do you guys see? What numbers are you guys seeing? 570, 565, 570. Okay. Here it's 372. Oh, isn't that something? 571. 417. Whoa. This is like not even accurate. YouTube's not even accurate. 571. 616. What? 334. They're probably talking about likes. So 465. It sounds like it's going from about 460 to 600. Very interesting. We're hitting 558. Okay, 539. It fluctuates about 100. Depends on where you are in the world. Okay. Caroline Pham. All right. Here's the next article right there. United States derivatives watchdog weighs a 24/7 action with crypto oversight on the horizon. Okay, Crypto Hulk, what do we got here? What I'm showing you is the very beginning of how crypto will be used in the derivatives, in the stock market, the bond market, stuff like that. I don't even understand all the trading stuff, but what we got going on is a baby step. So the derivatives market, but I'm going to show you, look, this article is going to go from boring to very interesting very fast. Okay, that's how crypto is going to go too. What do we got here? We're talking about derivatives, a $3 quadrillion market. If, and I'm just saying if, Ripple, Stellar, XDC, whatever it is, if any of those cryptos were to get control over that market, you'd have at least a $50,000 to $100,000 crypto, whatever crypto that was we were talking about, okay? That's how big this is. We're not talking about market cap. We're talking about market. $3 quadrillion. And we already discussed, if I'm 90% wrong, we're still looking at probably a $10,000 or $5,000 XRP or XLM or whatever the fuck it is, okay? If I'm 90% wrong, all right? Now, you have, okay, in the United States, we have no crypto laws. So none of this shit is going to take off until we have crypto laws. We have something called the United States Code. I'm the only person talking about that for the past 5 years online because I used to work for the Department of Justice, okay? And before people get hooked up and booked up, we'd have to know what United States Code violation they're getting in trouble for. Now, I work law enforcement in California. We have what's called a penal code. I work law enforcement in Arizona revised statutes. Like, so every state has its own codified law, okay? The government has codified law. It's called the United States Code. If it doesn't exist, the United States Code, it doesn't exist. You can't get arrested for wearing a purple hat. So if a cop were to arrest you for wearing a purple cap, you could sue them under 18 United States Code. That's a violation of your civil rights, Section 242, okay? Crypto works the same way. You will not hear any other channel talk about this except me. If you're arrested for crypto, look, let me just make this simple. We have no crypto laws in the United States. Therefore, the government cannot regulate it. Therefore, the banks cannot use it. Do you understand? Banks can only use what's regulated. Banks can only use what there's definitions for in the law. Like, the law has to describe who, what, when, where, how, and why. If you don't have crypto law, nobody can touch it. It's like a free-for-all kind of thing where it doesn't fall under anything. Can a judge, here's another thing no other channel's telling you. Can a judge rule on a case where there's crypto? Answer, no. Can the United States Supreme Court rule on a case where there's crypto? No. Why Crypto Hulk? Well, let's take it back to 5th grade. What is the judicial's job? To interpret existing law. Okay. So wait a second. If we don't have crypto in the law, then the judge can't interpret it. Congratulations. You graduated 5th grade civics class, okay? Brilliant answer. I love it. You're a fucking genius. Now, what do we got here? We got Caroline Pham, who took the job from Rostin Benman. Rostin Benman used to be in charge of the CFTC. They threw his ass out when Trump gets elected. And you got Caroline Pham here. She's temporarily in charge of the CFTC. And she's saying that they're going to start to have 24/7 trading on the derivatives platform. Okay, in the derivatives world. Now, if we go down below the article or in her picture, we go to this paragraph here. It says Bitcoin is the crypto sector's top asset and is also universally defined by the U.S. regulators and courts as a commodity. Stop. When something is universally defined, that doesn't mean anything at all. You notice the wording here? The author, who's the author of this article? Oh, God, here we go. Jesse Hamilton, edited by Nikhilesh Day. Okay, both of these two people that work at, where? CoinDesk, they're fucking stupid. Okay. Bitcoin is the crypto sector's top asset. Well, first off, we don't even know what Bitcoin is. So you can't say Bitcoin is an asset. Like, what the fuck is it? Is there a definition for Bitcoin in the law? No, I'm talking about, is there a definition of Bitcoin in the United States Code? Answer, no. So you can't technically say what it is, can you? You can't. Next, they say right here, Bitcoin is universally defined by U.S. regulators and the courts as a commodity. What does that mean? Universally defined. Like, okay, again, let's stop. The two authors that wrote this article, use your fucking brain. I know that stuff, and you're probably stretching it. But if you don't have law, there's no definitions. So something cannot be, especially universally defined, unless you have law. Wow, these people. Somebody's got they probably got the jab in their arm because that COVID shit got in there, the vaccine. And so these people are dumb as fuck writing these articles. But what's going to happen is they're going to start running the commodities future trading like a crypto exchange, okay? Lastly, go to the very last sentence. Now is where they start talking sense. Here goes. The CFTC would still need a change in law. Oh my God. Finally, these people are fucking getting it. Let me read that again. The Commodities Future Trading Commission would still need a change in law. Well, not a change in law. They would need law because currently we don't have law, so you can't change it. Look, if you don't have it, you can't change it, can you? That's true. So the commodities future, the authors finally admit this. Finally, after trying to squeegee the water out of the rag, they admit we need crypto laws for any of this to happen. So what's going to happen is the Commodity Future Trading Commission wants to take over the part of crypto that we call derivatives or commodities so they can regulate it. And then they kind of admit during the article that some of the cryptos are going to be securities, some are commodities, so the SEC will control the other. They know this is all going to crypto in the end. Let me show you evidence right here. There's already a crypto exchange. It's in Switzerland. It's called the SIX, the SIX, the SIX Digital Exchange. Here we got Justin Stephen. Here's a contribution to the FYT fund. And that's sad. We got to do this. You'd think that YT would be the best fucking platform and treat people fairly and stuff. But no, it's like just fucking garbage. It's ridiculous. It's that rich of a platform that they can't have a quality platform. David Bravo, welcome to the entry-level membership. So here's the six stock exchange to use. Now I'm going to show you Crypto Hulk. We've been talking about the CFTC, Commodities Futures Trading Commission, governing, regulating these crypto assets that one day are going to be derivatives. Then we got the SEC talking about, well, the SEC runs on New York Stock Exchange and other ones, but we know that Stellar, the crypto Stellar, hooked up with the New York Stock Exchange. So Crypto Hulk, what crypto is going to be for derivatives? R3 Corda. Here's your article right here that proves that Swiss Stock Exchange is to use R3 Corda for blockchain-based trading platform. This is the crypto you need to get. So here's my link to Caleb and Brown. Here's where you need to buy. Don't buy it anywhere else. Here's where you need to buy your Stellar, which is XLM. Here's where you need to buy your XDC. I'm telling you right now, the article right here is telling you, look, it's telling you what's going to happen. This is so awesome. If you're sitting here watching my show, hold on. If you're sitting here watching my show, you're being given an opportunity to see that the stock market, the derivatives market, is already using R3 Corda's platform. It comes from Cordite. If you watched last night's show, you'd understand. R3 Corda comes from something called Cordite Society. It's the United Kingdom's richest banks mixed up with the R family, the richest family in the world, the R family, and it has a direct connection to Singapore-based company called Zinfin, which is really Chinese. Well, we know that Chinese are already involved because we got Ripple China, okay? So see those connections? Like, I'm showing you all this stuff. A monkey could get rich off this. What is the Swiss Stock Exchange 6? It's the very first stock exchange in the world that has all the derivatives and stocks, everything. It's running on a parallel system right now called R3 Corda, okay? That uses the XDC crypto. Here's the evidence for that. This is the crypto you need to get. I'm showing you with evidence. It's not my opinion. All the stock exchanges of the world are going to run on this. What does it say? R3 Corda network is set to go DeFi with XDC. Now, this was told to us in 2023, okay? Here's an article explaining this. The Corda announced Tuesday, the Cordite Society, just like I told you, Corda comes from the Cordite Society, a cooperative registered in the United Kingdom, released the what? XDC crypto token. Now, look, there's somebody out there saying, hey, Crypto Hulk, Jake Cleaver said he had the XDC people there, or the R3 people, or the Corda people are not using XDC. Look, I don't even know about Jake Cleaver. I don't know who he is. I don't want to know. I don't give a fuck, okay? What we have here is the Cordite Society. They made Corda. There's R3 Corda. They're partners. Corda's telling the whole world they're using XDC, but all of a sudden now on Jake Cleaver's show, somebody's telling me, I'm not saying Jake Cleaver said this, I'm just telling you somebody told me, oh, they're not using XDC. I had to block that person because they kept telling me that for like 2 days straight. I don't give a fuck what Jake has to say. I honestly don't. Let me make it a little further because I'm not trying to get anybody butthurt. I don't care what any fucking buddy says on the internet. You got that? I don't care if David Schwartz, I don't care who it is, Goldilocks and the Seven Dwarfs or whatever the fuck. I don't care. I got evidence right here from the Cordite Society saying they're going to use XDC. That's what they're going to fucking use, okay? I don't have two bums on my show that say, oh, they're not using X. Who the fuck are these two bums? Okay, I don't need to hear dumb shit what's going on in other people's programs, okay? Now, I go with facts and evidence, not dumb shit that happens on Leave It to Beaver Cleaver, okay? So here's a copy and a paste. Let's hear what the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation has to say. Oh shit, Crypto Hulk, you're bringing out the big guns right now. All right, the DTCC. What is this? It's an organization that's industry owned, industry ran. It covers all the derivative exchange, stock markets, and shit all around the world. Any kind of clearing of derivatives goes through the DTCC. It's very similar to the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. What does the BIS do, Crypto Hulk? I'm brand new. I've been watching too many dumb shits online, so I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, all the banks in the world, they have to listen to what's called the Bank for International Settlements. It's out of Hong Kong, I believe. The BIS, they tell all the banks in the world what to do. They clear every single payment that happens in the world through banks. Same thing on the DTCC end. They control all the derivatives trading in the world. They clear every single derivatives trade that happens, okay? Here's what the DTCC says. Right here at the top, DTCC has selected what? R3 Corda. R3 Corda uses what? Well, we just went over that. That's the XDC crypto. The Cordite Society told us it's the XDC crypto. Okay? I don't care what YouTuber has two fucking jackasses saying, oh, they're not going to use R3 or Corda is not using X. Shut up. Okay? I don't need to hear dumb shit YouTubers or whoever it is. I don't need to hear dumbasses. Okay? I've got right here, DTCC. It tells you clear as day, R3 Corda. Then we pulled up the article where the Cordite Society says they're using XDC. Please don't tell me about other channels when you have dumb shit programs telling you that R3 or Corda is not using XDC. That's when you need to run. You need to run away from dumb shit. Leave it to Beaver Cleavers, okay? Please, don't show me other dumb shit programs. Now let me click out of this. And that looks like, where are we at? We are past due. Oh shit, 12 minutes over. Okay, we are done. Yeah, Valdim Coggin says, Hulk, you were given wrong information. Yeah, I don't care about other channels. Whether they said they're going to use both or not, I don't care. See what I mean? I don't need other channels. I don't need to talk about other channels. I don't need you to tell me what another channel said. I don't fucking need them. I got my own evidence. I'm a one-man show. I'm a researcher and a reporter all together. See, here's what. Other channels use other channels for news. I don't use anything else except what I find. So that's how I run the channel. Okay. Hayden Loudenbach says, I've been watching I watched your show for 4 months. Just can't wrap my head around how much info Hulk actually has. Where does he keep it all? How does he keep finding more? Straight legend. It's called work. It just takes a lot of fucking work. All right. Amazing show today. Thanks. All right, everybody, I got to go. I'll try to work on having a 5:00 p.m. show, and that's for show. And until then, take care. Don't get stressed out. Follow my program. Follow the facts. You can't go wrong. I'll see you in my next one.